effect. Looks like pollen already. Yeah. Come on. How you doing? Happy Tuesday, Miss Jazzy. Sis, how are you doing? I hadn't seen you in a while. I'm glad to see you. I'm glad to see you today. Miss Jazzy, I thought I saw pollen. That's good. That's good. I thought I saw pollen. It's been so nice. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for stopping by to see me. I'm glad to see you too. I hope some of you people that are coming in here will at least drop down and say hello to me and Miss Jazzy. We're the only ones talking right now, but that's okay. That's okay. You don't have to talk. We want to walk and talk. We do, we do, we do. We want to walk and talk. We want to feel good. We want to feel good. If y'all see the title, it says "Let's Talk Tuesday Fatigue." How many of you guys are tired already? You probably did because my allergies are like, Miss Jazzy, I promise you, I looked and I was like, it's funny how I've been walking for a few minutes before I came on and I didn't really see, I guess you see things and you're thinking, nah, it can't be that. That can't be what I'm seeing. And then I got to one driveway and I'm like, that's all it can be. That's all it can be. It was like, it was green and especially like when the rain washes it down. So we had a little bit of rain earlier this morning, and that's exactly what it looks like. It looks like the rain has washed some of the pollen down in that person's driveway. And I'm like, no, 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 no. Those allergies are something else. It's so, the allergies affect your nasal passages, your eyes, nose, throat, all the same areas that your sinuses affect when you're having sinus issues. So for those people who have sinus issues and allergy problems, both, oh my goodness, what do you guys do? If you don't want to say in this live chat, when you come across the replay, tell us some of your go-tos as far as your allergy and sinus medications or your home remedies, some of your home remedies. What do you do? Jackie says, I'm hiding out from my family because I'm tired. I'm tired, girl. They mean well, but they're going way overboard with my birthday this year. Oh, I understand, Jesse. I understand. It's like you don't want them to feel unappreciated, but sometimes they can be overwhelming. But at the end of the day, we have to be appreciative. But like you said, just hide out a little bit. Hide out a little bit, because you still need your me time. You still need time for yourself. And when family and friends can get overwhelming, the slightest thing you say to some, it makes them feel like, I don't think it makes them feel like you don't appreciate it. It's 50 people watching, thumbs up this live. Tell them, Miss Jazzy, thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. Y'all thumbs up this live. Whether it's some people that YouTube is just pushing it out to, whether you're subscribers or whether you're frequent flyers, frequent visitors. Thumbs it live up. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. It's free. It's free. It's all free. It's all free. Well, technically, you've got to pay that Wi-Fi. So you got to, unless it's free Wi-Fi. Now, if it's free Wi-Fi, it's absolutely free. But if you're coming through here, just give me a thumbs up. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Thank you. I'll tell you thank you even. I know some people don't even say thank you. Some people don't even say thank you. I'm like, Did your parents, did your teachers, did your aunties and uncles not tell you how to say thank you? If you're a content creator, tell your subscribers thank you. Earl says, hello, I have thumbs up and shared, but still can't chat from my own channels. I'm sorry to hear that, Earl. Thank you. Thank you for thumbsing me up. Thank you for sharing. You have any idea why you can't? Yes, Miss Jazzy, it's absolutely free. I mean, even if you don't like the content or even if you keep going, if you stop by, just give it a thumbs up. Help the person. Especially if they're just, they aren't cutting up. They aren't doing anything wrong. But sometimes that kind of content gets the thumbs up. That kind of content gets all the thumbs up. But to each his own. People like what they like. And sometimes people just don't do something just because. Just because. Oh my gosh, you gotta watch where you stepping out here. Like, I can't stand these people that don't clean up behind their pets. Like, I love pets. But when it's like people say, when it comes to the cleanup part, it's not the pet, it's the owner. It's not the pet, it's the owner. If somebody made a law that said, well, you know what? We're going to, one, either restrict the number of pets you can have, or two, you can only have them for so long. Something. Just throw some type of law out there. Because if you could only have them for so long, that wouldn't work. Because there are too many that need to be adopted and things like that. They need to be taken care of. But just put some strict limitations on things. Like, if when you walk them, you have to walk them in this area of the neighborhood. Because everybody can't go to the park. And then even when you go to the park, because they're stricter at the park, they're going to have the signs. Sometimes they have the park rangers out there telling you what to do. It's me, Blue. What does that mean at Earl? It's me, Blue. What does that mean at Earl? What does that mean? Jazzy said hello there, Earl. Oh, no. He's got some more channels. He said he can't get into them, I think he said. I have thumbs up and shared. I appreciate it, but still can't chat for my own channel. Okay, my own channel. Whose channels are you? Who is this then? Yes, we're just chopping it up. What's going on, Cool Gamer? What's going on, Cool Gamer? See what I'm talking about? They just letting him out there without a leash. Uh-oh, y'all. You better call that thing, girl. They just out here without leashes letting this dog run wild. Just letting the dog run wild, y'all. I had to brace myself. Y'all know how I am. I'm surprised Sonya isn't on here. Because Sonya be laughing at me. Miss Jazzy, I was telling Lions Pride that it's me. Oh, she said it's me, Blue. Okay, Blue. Blue, who is Earl? Well, not who is Earl, but I don't know why you can't come from your own channel. I saw you in the chat the other day. The walk and talk yesterday was so good. Oh, thank you, Blue. I appreciate that. Y'all, look at this. Yeah, that's so pretty. I don't understand. Look at all those, you remember yesterday when I passed by here, it was a few of them. But this tree is still full of these. I don't know what, Blue, Jazzy, anybody, can you guys tell me what these are? What type of petals? What tree that comes from? Because it's like, oh my gosh, they're everywhere. But the way they've fallen with the lavender, white, purplish color to it, it's so pretty. It's like it's already spring, y'all. It's already spring. Those things are all over the ground, but the tree is still full of them. Yes, Miss Jazzy, I should have got that for her. You know what? I don't want these people to say anything to me. I see them all the time, though. Well, I should have got that, took like a screenshot or something, and got that for a thumbnail or something. That is so pretty. I don't know And I don't remember seeing this type of tree, but there are several of them in this area. There are several of them. And it's so, look at my finger. Okay, got it. Y'all, that is so pretty to me. And it's like, whatever, it's only in that yard. There's another one coming up. There's another tree like that coming up. Maybe 10, not 10, maybe 5 houses down. And that's so pretty. Blue says, yes, I am on my hubby channel. Okay, okay, okay. I won't say that because, Blue, you know how people are, child. I'll just, okay, so I can talk to you while we walk. And those petals look like, yeah, that's what it, see, there are a lot of trees that are just filled with all different kinds of colors right now. And it's not officially spring yet. And I mean, I know it gets started a little bit before spring, but those trees, those what? So they're blossom. Is that what they're called? Okay, Miss Jassy, thank you. Okay, Miss Jassy says she's gonna look up the correct name. It could be a crepe myrtle tree. Okay, myrtle tree. Okay, it's whatever it is. It's like about. I wonder, do you plant those or do they? You know, sometimes in some areas, certain trees just grow and bloom. Certain types of trees just grow and bloom, and they just do. But some of them, you know, if they aren't, I guess, prominent in that area, you have to kind of plant them. But I haven't seen this many, and I see so many now. There's my cactus. There's my cactus. Y'all ever thought about breaking off the cactus? Who's ever broken off the cactus and gotten a little water from it? Okay, Blue says they look like cherry blossoms a little. They do. The color is so deep. It's like the shade is light, and then toward the end, it's dark, then it lightens, and toward the end it gets white. It gets white. Yes, yeah, Blue, I just, like, yesterday was a day. It's like, sometimes you just have to, you know, make statements and then just move on. Make statements and just move on. Yeah, this tree has some too, but this tree, the ones on that tree, it's the exact same type of tree. But for some reason, those they're not blooming. Well, it's full. I guess they just haven't fallen. They haven't fallen as much. But on that first tree, they've fallen a lot, and there's still plenty on the tree. So it's just stuff like that. You know, when you get outside, the simplest blooms, even the simple ones, you know, it just lets you know that the weather is changing, the season is about to change. You know, maybe we can change and do some things. And that's why I had fatigue in the title. Because fatigue doesn't necessarily always mean physically tired, but there are sometimes things that that fatigue us, like sometimes work. Not that we're tired with the work that we, physically tired, but sometimes we're emotionally fatigued from work. Sometimes we're emotionally fatigued from work. Sometimes we're just fatigued with a routine. Like sometimes we have routines that we get bored with. We're kind of fatigued with them. Like, what do you guys do to change up your routines when you get fatigued? So it doesn't always have to be physical fatigue. It can be mental fatigue, again, with work, with some relationship, with church. Do you start to go visit other churches then? Like, you love your church that you're a member of, but sometimes you maybe get a little fatigued. Hey, Jill. See, Lounge Pride, yesterday you calmly shifted the atmosphere and have an amazing word. I was chatting my head off. You opened up my eyes to so much, but I just could not see me. Such great words you gave. Oh, thank you, Blue. I appreciate that. I don't know. Blue, I couldn't even, what was it? I tell people this all the time. I couldn't see my ma. I don't know. That's why I don't have a lot of them, because I really don't need them, because honestly I'm a shorts channel. I'm really a shorts channel. So um, I don't need a lot of them, because I have a lot of people coming through in my comment sections of my shorts. And I just try to do shorts, because with shorts you don't have to have all that interaction. With shorts you can put your short up and go. 15 minutes to 60 seconds. I mean 15 minutes. 15 seconds, 15 to 60 seconds, and you're done. So I just encourage people to do shorts. Do shorts a lot of times. Do shorts. And sometimes when you're, surfing through these streets, you don't always have to drop down. If you love dropping down, drop down. But that's why I don't, have an issue when people come through. Because when the number stays at a certain number for a while, at least somebody is watching. At least they're giving you some support. But it's just, I don't know. It's so much stuff on here that I would teach my teenagers against, that I see on here. So I understand why a lot of adults just tend to, look, watch, and listen. Look, watch, and listen. I see Jill speaking to Miss Jazzy. Make sure you check your vitamin D levels. Jill says to make sure you guys check your vitamin D levels. That is so true, because oftentimes people are low in vitamin D and they don't know it, because doctors aren't fast to check that for some reason. You would think with all the research and literature out now about vitamin D, that more doctors would make that a part of their routine workup. And so, in fact, I'm glad Jill said that, because I did want to say, encourage you guys to get your checkups. I did that a couple of weeks ago. Get your annuals, if nothing else. Try and go at least annually. We know a lot of times people don't go to get their checkups because they don't trust the medical. They don't trust the medical field. They don't. If we have to be honest, they just don't. They don't go because they don't trust the medical field. Sometimes it's not so much that they don't trust them. Sometimes people just don't like to go. They just don't like to go, especially if they're feeling fine. It's like, why go? And then, they're feeling fine, and then the doctor says this or the doctor says that. So the reasons that people don't go are understandable, but the reasons to go are much more important. You want to be, that's why they call it preventative care. Because I don't know about all, but many insurances, when it's preventive care, the cost is usually lower. Sonia said, hey, Sonia, I did. You did, Sonia. You see, Jill, I saw that. I don't know why it took me so long to see your seafood. When Jill put that photo up, I was like, she put the whole kitchen and the sea. She put everything up in there. And not just the ingredients. I mean, not just the items. Like, because you had crab, you had shrimp, you had eggs. It was the way it was seasoned. It didn't look overly seasoned. Jill, Sonia asking about why do vitamin D be low all the time? Well, I think it varies per person, but a lot of times because people don't get enough sun, and you need vitamin D because it kind of kicks off some of the other things that you need, some of the the other vitamins and minerals that you need. When you lack vitamin D, you'll oftentimes find that you may be a little bit low on other vitamins and minerals as well. Jazzy says, okay, y'all, I have to take this phone call. Okay, Jazzy, much love and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you, Miss Jazzy, for coming in. I appreciate you. Sonia, I didn't see your short. I will go look again. I'll have to look too, because I didn't see it. So probably because she said, I think you said that's your first one. So the more you do, the more they'll start to come across the shorts table. Sonia says, Jill, take vitamin D and get sunlight. I guess that is why I have no issues. Yeah, see, some of the times they don't check for certain things. Now, there are some things like when doctors do a CMP or BMP, which is a BMP is a basic metabolic panel, and a CMP is a complete metabolic panel. There are some things that are there that they check, from your sodium to your calcium, your chloride, your AGAP, your your potassium, your calcium, what else? They check a whole bunch of things. The complete one, they check even more of those things. So if you get a basic one, it won't check as quite as much as the complete one will. But the complete one usually checks your cholesterol, your cholesterol ratios, your LDL to your HDL, and all those things like that. And it's important for people to know. And YouTube, we're not giving any professional advice. We're not telling people what they should do as far as what they should take, but we are telling them and encouraging them to get their checkups, because these are the things that are included in your checkups. And when you find these things, they'll tell you if your level is high or low, and it allows the doctor to make an assessment and determine what you need to do, whether it's lifestyle change, whether it's medication, or whatever it is. So that's what it is, YouTube. Disclaimer. But yeah, they'll check your enzymes, your liver enzymes, your kidney functions, creatinine level. They'll check all of that. And see, a lot of times people feel like, well, they feel good, so they don't need that check. But especially, and it's just not about age, because so many conditions affect people of all ages, all races, all colors, both genders. So you need to really have those things checked. Go to get at least one checkup if you can. And again, like I was saying earlier, I know people sometimes they don't trust the medical profession, and we know what those reasons are. Other times it's not that they don't trust, but they're afraid. They don't want to hear something that they didn't, they just don't want to hear. Even if it's like telling them to take a vitamin, sometimes people just don't want to take a medicine. I know in our community, the African American community, I get so tired of media, and even when you're looking at research, we need to know because different races have, there are some things that they're more prevalent in certain races. Like, sickle cell anemia. We know that that's most prevalent in the African American community, but there is some in people of Mediterranean, and that. So I'm not going to go deep into it because, like I said, I don't want to be giving misinformation or YouTube saying don't do that. But there's a lot of reasons where you should go and get your checkup. You could be feeling great, but just get one annually, at least annually, and check on yourself. Some people are quick to take a vitamin. Now they'll go take. It seems like if it's something you can buy over the counter, people don't have a problem with it. But when you go into the doctor's office and he says, well, okay, your blood pressure was kind of elevated the last time you were here, and I decided to kind of watch it. And he maybe even he'll tell you, go, eat this, eat that, try and change your lifestyle a little bit. Make sure you get enough sleep. Make sure you exercise daily, cardio, at least 30 minutes per day. And we'll fight tooth and nail not to take that pill. Okay, doc, okay. Knowing that you're not going to be committed to doing it. Not that you can't become committed, but knowing that you're not going to be committed to doing it initially. And sometimes it's not that you're mentally it's not about your mental commitment. Maybe sometimes you just don't have, like people say, the time. So when the doctor says, okay, you go back, blood pressure still a little elevated, I'm going to give you this low dose, whatever. People, I don't want to take that. But they'll take all kinds of vitamins and herbs over the counter. Well, when you're taking those vitamins and herbs, yes, you think that those things are herbal, but you gotta look at where you're purchasing them from. If they're organic or if they're good for you. You got to think about your supplier. Just like with anything you purchase, you have to think about your supplier. Okay? And so you say, well, I don't want to take that man-made medicine. Medicine has natural medicine. Yes, it is man-made, a lot of it, but a lot of it does have herbs in it. That's why when you're on certain medications, you just can't take like St. John's worts. You can't take that when you're on certain medications because it itself is in medications, and sometimes you'll end up with too much. So listen to your doctor, and if you have any reservations about that doctor or whoever, change. Change. Jill, it was short. Sonya said it was a short one too. Congratulations, Sonya said, Blue. Jill says where she lives they don't get a lot of sun. Sonya says, Jill, I take vitamin D and get sunlight. I guess that is why Okay, yeah, if you already taking it, yeah. Yeah, you just want to make sure you don't take too much. That's why I'll tell everybody, go to the doctor. Because sometimes you're lacking in certain vitamins and nutrients, but you also don't want to be taking too much. You don't want your levels to be too high because you haven't had someone to draw a blood level, draw your blood to check your levels. So if you can, and again, I keep going to the reasons people don't go and I keep leaving it, but we know they are trust issues with the medical profession. Two, some people just don't like to go. They just don't like to go. Not that they're scared, they just don't like to. And three, some people just can't afford it. And that's whether they're insured or not. Because it just depends on the insurance coverage that they have. Some people still can't afford to go to the doctor, as often as they would like to. And I don't think anybody just likes going to the doctor, but you need to go. And some people do. Some people say they do like going to the doctor because they get to establish a relationship with their doctor, with his staff. And once they establish that rapport, they feel like that's someone they can trust, hopefully, because you just never know. People do have motives, even the ones that you think you can trust, but they feel like they can trust them. And so, they develop a rapport with them, and they kind of, they try to stay on the straight and narrow. But yeah, sometimes people don't trust the medical profession. Sometimes they just don't like going to the doctor. And sometimes it can be something as simple as them not liking needles that'll keep them from going to get a checkup. And, they're okay with let me look in your mouth, let me look in your ears, and checking your eyes and checking your blood pressure. They're okay with all that. But just the thought of having blood draw, some people cannot stand needles. And so they don't like to go to the doctor, and some of them won't. And again, the big one, insurance. Whether it's lack of insurance completely or lack of good insurance that pays a good portion of the bill. So try your best to go. Even if you don't have insurance, try to spend once. Think about the things that you buy on a daily basis. I think I said this before. Save up each month. Don't go to Starbucks. If you go to Starbucks twice a week, because most people go more than once, but even if you go once a week, think of it as $10. So in a month's time, you've got $40. 2 months' time, you've got $80. In 3 months' time, you've got $120. And so on. In 6 months, you've got $240. So hopefully, a regular doctor's visit, you have a substantial amount to pay them to go in. So just try and focus on getting one at least once a year. Once a year. Let's see. I'm so behind, y'all. Let me see. Sonya, I didn't see your short. Okay, I saw that. Y'all talking good. I'm glad y'all talking because y'all know I start talking. I have to pay attention to my surroundings. I have to pay attention to my surroundings, but I'm in a good place. I got a couple of people. I got a couple of people standing outside watching me. You get an annual done? Yeah, at least, especially if you're over the age of 35. Like you need to be checking with your healthcare provider every 6 months. Every 6 months. Some tests can be done annually, but just checking in with them, checking the blood. And I say that because so many people don't check their blood pressure, like at least once a month. You should at least. And sometimes people say, well, a lot of things, age doesn't matter. But when it comes to our health, it does. Because like I said, young people have some issues. So you 35, you 40 years old, and you thinking you don't need to check your blood pressure because your 20-year-old doesn't check theirs? No, you need to be checking your blood pressure. And you need to be going to the doctor and seeing what your cholesterol is at least once a year. At least. You need to be seeing what your blood glucose is, your blood sugar. You need to be seeing what that is. You need to be making sure that that's below 120. Some want it below 100 or less. But you need to be, some will let you kind of slide with 150, and then they'll start giving you those, making those little demands on you. Okay, watch what you're eating. Watch how you're eating. Watch when you're eating. And a lot of times, sugar is that culprit. Sugar is okay in moderation, but your body only stores sugar for so long, and then it starts to convert it into fat. And then we sometimes often have enough fat, eat enough fat, sometimes too much. And then, sugar in excess just eventually converts to fat. Okay, YouTube. Look it up. Look it up. We're gonna stop it right there, okay? We're gonna stop it right there. So you just want to check your blood glucose levels, check your cholesterol levels. Your HDL is your good cholesterol. Women, we need that to be over 60. Over 60. Your LDL is considered the bad cholesterol. We need that to be under 100. Your triglycerides, the fat in your blood, get those things checked. Because the only way for you to know for sure what they are and if they're in the levels that they should be within, the ranges that they should be within, is to get it checked. Blue says, yes, Sonya, go every 3 months due to diabetes, but I'm doing great now. Checkups are so important. Yes, Blue, yes. See, so many people don't want to. It's like they feel like it's a tag or a label or something to go. If you have, let me tell you, if you have a condition, a lot of times it's hereditary, and a lot of times it's because of lifestyle, the things that, that we do. But whether it's hereditary or lifestyle, go to your doctor and just have your levels done. Have your levels done. Because blood pressure, they give it a certain name. You guys can look that name up. And if you aren't checking on it and knowing what it usually is, if I can ask you, well, what was the blood pressure the last time you got it checked, and you can't tell me, that means you probably aren't checking it enough. What was your blood sugar the last time? You probably can't tell me if you don't check it enough or you don't have them check it enough. So, every time you go to the doctor, they won't check for everything, but they may do a blood draw. It's just that sometimes they'll check your iron levels, and it just depends on what the doctor orders. So even when you feel good, at least once a year, and they said that years ago. Honestly, now I think it's every 6 months is what they recommend, even if you feel well. Because you just want to stay on top of things. It's called preventative care. Preventative care. Yep, building a great rapport with the doctors. Jill, your seafood boil looked so amazing. Ashley Blue, that was Sonya's seafood boil. Actually, that was Sonya's seafood boil. Didn't it look good? The presentation was so good. It was like, it wasn't overly seasoned. I think sometimes people feel like the season is what gets the views. Of course, the eating, the smacking, the eating, and just the food itself. Because, even people who don't like seafood per se will watch people do seafood mukbangs and stuff like that. So her presentation was so good. It wasn't you could tell it wasn't overly seasoned, and it wasn't under seasoned. It was just right. It was just right. And it also depends on how you like it, because some people don't like a lot of seasoning at all. They like the freshness of the seafood. So, and I understand that. A lot of times I don't want all that stuff. And that's why it's always great to make your own at home. Like if you enjoy seafood on a regular basis, it's nice to go out, but it's also great to make it on your own. Jill says, yes, Earl, that was Sonya's goodness. It looked so good, y'all. It looked so good. I was like, oh my goodness. We asked for it and we got it, right? We asked for it and we got it. And now we're sitting here wanting some. I was wanting some, and then I saw it so late. I don't know what time Jill posted it, but when I saw it, it was like, I want to say, it was no earlier than 10, I don't think. I was about to go to bed when I saw it, and I was like, why am I just seeing this? Blue says, oh, I'm sorry, I saw it on your, yep, it was on Jill's community. Jill posted it for her. Yep, she posted it for her. She was like, this is Sonya's seafood boil. Yes, oh, Jill, when I tell you, I love a good seafood boil that's not overly seasoned. Just like sometimes the seasoning can take away from it. You want to get that good, fresh taste. And sometimes you want the taste. I understand a lot of times people want the taste. And seafood, a seafood boil or something like that is a good way for them to get that garlic and onions, those herbs and spices. They love it. But I just can't eat one that's like overly seasoned. Sometimes when I go to certain places, I ask them to put the seasoning on the side. Like those seasoning mixes that they have, I ask them to put it on the side in a bowl. Even if I'm going to get it to go. If I'm going to get it to go, I ask them to put it on the side. Because I'd rather dip it instead of having all over. Um, she says what Blue says. I'm sub now to Jill and Sonya, and I'm keeping my eyes glued for more goodness. Appreciate that, Blue. I appreciate it. Okay, she subbed from her blue channel. Blue subbed from her own channel. So yes, she'll get to see more of that good food. And since Sonya just put up a short, maybe she'll put up some more, and maybe there'll be more food. Cause Sonya cooks. Sonya cooks, and I believe Sonya can cook. Y'all know some people, some of us we cook, and then some of us cook, right? We cook, and some of us cook. We really do. My mom, when she would cook, the food would get gone so fast, y'all, so fast. Because, especially on Sundays, Sunday dinners, Sundays, we just went to different houses in the family. And, you have certain houses that everybody wants to come to. I remember, I remember my sisters and we would get so mad. Like, okay, she'd have all this food. She'd have well over enough. My dad, they'd have enough. They have enough. They're in the kitchen. They preparing. They're cooking. Or if it's grilling, a Sunday we want to grill. He's grilling. But by the end of the day, like late in the evening, and you going in there for for seconds, y'all, it would be scarce. It would be scarce to none. So we learned to put back. We learned that when she was done cooking, we would put back, y'all. We would put back because we had cousins and they had no shame. Just like us, when we went to their houses, we didn't have to ask. That's family. That's all a part of being family. You don't have to ask to eat, as long as you don't go in there and just ravish the whole kitchen. You don't have to ask to eat. But I'm telling you, there were certain houses. My mom's cooking, my grandmother's cooking, my great grandmother's cooking. And then there was an aunt here, there, certain cousins that could cook. They already knew to just cook enough for everybody, because you never know who's coming by, especially on Sunday. We have some family that they would leave our house, they would go to our grandmother's house, which was their grandmother too. So then they would go to our auntie's house. Some people just, they love good food. They love food that's cooked good. You posted it after okay. I knew it was kind of late when I saw it, but I wasn't sure if if you had posted it earlier or if you had posted it at that time. Because I'm telling you, y'all, sometimes I get in my notifications, I'll see a short and they'll say that the person, I'm still not understanding that. Like, I can see if it just takes a while to get to you or to come through your feed. But when it says like 2 days ago, and then in your notifications, it says that it may say Jill posted whatever at 3 minutes ago. And when I click on it, it was like 2 days ago. And I'm like, I don't know. I guess it's just a finicky system. And it's an overwhelmed system as well. I'm sure that it's overwhelmed. I'm sure that it's overwhelmed. So I just try to, especially people who come here a lot, I try to stop by, because you just never know. They'll show you something and say it was 10 minutes ago and it was actually 6 days ago. And I'm like, okay. And then you can't complain, because sometimes you're so busy during the week that you actually may not see it until 6 days after it's posted, 3, 4, 5 days after it's posted. But yeah, I came on here, y'all know the conversations always go all over the place. But I just wanted to ask you guys, what's something that you find yourself being fatigued with? It could be physical fatigue, and that'll go back to all this stuff that we just talked about making sure that you're getting your checkups, so that you can see where your levels are, seeing if you've been a little tired or energy been a little low. Could be that your iron is a little bit low. And there are so many other things that are factored into your iron. There are other numbers. So it could be that, or sometimes it could be mental fatigue. And I often see that people will say they have a mental fatigue, but they won't give themselves a break. Hey, Joshua. Blue says, okay, I'm tired now, Lion's Pride. Enjoy the rest of your walk and please check to see if I'm blocked. Okay, I'll go into my studio because I think you can go into your studio and you can go into your what is it, like your Google contacts or something like that. So I'll look at both of them. I'll look at both of them. Good night, Blue. Have a good night. Joshua says, hey, Miss Jazzy. Thank you, Joshua, for speaking to Miss Jazzy. She's gone. She was here for a while earlier, but she had to run. But thank you for speaking to her, for being courteous and polite and addressing. I love it when people come in, they address as many people as they can. Sometimes we can do that and sometimes we can't. When people can't address you by name, don't be offended. Sometimes the feed may not be showing that you were in here. They may not know. And sometimes people just, when they say, hey, everybody, or hey, chat, they are speaking to you. They are speaking to you. No, you're good, Joshua. Manners and respect. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I like it when people come in and they go from top to bottom, for as much as they can see, and they address each and every person. But I also, feel like people need to understand that sometimes people just say, hey, everybody. And that's just exactly what it means, everybody. Everybody. Joshua says manners and respect. All right. We all have to remember that. We all have to remember manners and respect. And back to fatigue. I'm about to be fatigued because this big 18-wheeler is coming through here. Fatigued by that noise. Fatigued by that noise. Y'all, look at this frog. I thought that was a frog. Do y'all see him? You probably can't see him. There he is. He's flushed. Y'all see that frog? I'm waiting for him to jump. I think he knows I'm waiting. He won't move, y'all. He just jumped across the street. Jump. He won't jump. Yeah, I'm telling you, I love stuff like this. I think I told y'all, I did tell y'all, I love catching bumblebees and not wasps so much. I catch wasps from board, but I love catching bumblebees. Look at him. He won't even jump. You better jump. He won't jump. I don't want to touch him. I don't want him to pee on me. Will you jump, please? Oh my goodness, he's just right. He's camouflaged with the curb, so y'all probably can't see him. He will not jump. He's stubborn. He's stubborn. He's just hiding right there. I'm gonna walk off and I'm gonna see what he does. See, y'all, I told y'all I like stuff like that. The critters and little small reptiles and small mammals, insects. He will not move. I don't want to throw something at him. I just want him to jump. Because I thought I saw him jumping and I wasn't sure. And then when I was for sure, I was like, that is a frog. And he will not move. Y'all, he will not move. He's making me so mad. Making me so mad. He's going to make me catch him. He's going to make me catch him. That's what's going to happen. If you keep sitting there like that, I'm going to catch you. I really don't want him to pee on me, though. I don't want him to pee on me. Jill said, good night, Earl. Did I say that? I don't know if I missed that. Y'all, I'm sitting here. See, I'm telling you, I'm like a little kid when it comes to these. He will not move. And I know nothing's wrong with him because he had a strong jump. He's moving, but he won't jump. Will you please jump? Y'all, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. I'm standing here waiting. Okay, I'm just going to walk up the street. And I'm going to come back and I'm going to see if he's gone. And it's probably because he hears me or something. I don't know. But he will not move. He's moving his legs. But he's not jumping. He's not jumping. That frog is mad. He's like, will you go on about your business and leave mine alone? See, being nosy, I'm being nosy. There are more pine cones, more pine cones, more pine cones. You know, spring is really making its way. Spring is really making its way here. I'm so I'm so ticked off with that frog, y'all. But yeah, so for those of you who may watch this replay, leave in the comment section, you know, what do you do when you've become fatigued with your routine, like your daily routine, with your job, with your friendships, with your maybe your church, with your you know, just with anything. Doesn't mean we don't like it, but sometimes you're just fatigued with it. Do you go to another church for a couple of Sundays just to visit with another, you know, with your friend at their church? Not because it's not like you're wanting to change your church membership. You're just a little fatigued and you just want to go to another church. Sometimes churches, you know, churches visit each other. So when you get fatigued, do you just go to another church? With your friends and with your family, do you just lay low for a little while? Like Miss Jazzy was saying, she was laying low. She has a birthday coming up and her family is, you know, it's getting to be a little bit overwhelming. So it's all love. You truly appreciate what they do for you. But even then, sometimes you get overwhelmed. Kind of like if you're planning for a wedding. If you're helping someone plan for a wedding, you can become fatigued, whether you're helping the bride or the groom. You know, if it's going to be a kind of a big wedding, you can become fatigued. So what do? That's just like the guy saying, well, let's just go shoot some hoops. It doesn't have to be anything extravagant. Um, if it's the women helping the bride, they can say, well, you know what, we're doing all this planning, and we, you know, the wedding is still a little bit off. Let's just go have a spa day. You know, sometimes what do you do when you become fatigued? Do you just rest? Whatever it is, do you lay off of it for a little while? And do you just rest? Some of us become fatigued with certain things that we eat, with eating meat. Does that mean you want to become a vegetarian? No. Doesn't mean that you want to become a vegetarian or you want to become vegan or anything like that. It just means that you need to lay off meat for a little while. You take your break because you're fatigued with it and you bounce back. So some of us become fatigued just with the things that we eat in general. We feel like we need a boost. We need a change. Like we may eat. Have you guys ever gotten into or ever thought about it? And then you're like, you know what? It seems like all I eat is green beans and green beans and pinto beans. Green beans, pinto beans, and corn. Like I need to change up. I need some more vegetables. I need to get more um, variety. I need to vary it up a little bit. So, and for those who do become fatigued with the things that they're doing, do you notice that you'll say, I'm going to do something different? But 2 weeks, 2 months later, you're still doing the same thing. That thing that you were fatigued with, that routine that you were fatigued with, eating the same food that you became fatigued with. If you are planning a big wedding or something like that, you never really got a chance to do what you guys planned to do even when you got tired. Because, you know, planning things like that or planning a big vacation, especially a big family vacation. And when I say big family, I mean not just your nuclear family, not just, you know, those within your home or not just you and your kids. But I'm talking about one of those vacations where it's going to be like cousins, aunties, uncles, parents, everybody. Planning those vacations, y'all, those are stressful. Those are stressful. Those vacations, that vacation planning that way is very, very stressful. Very stressful. So sometimes you have to find something to do to, you know, you not really find something to do, maybe just rearrange some things. And it could be finding something to do. It could be finding new veggies to eat. If you find that you're stuck on green beans, pinto beans, and corn, maybe you add some squash. Maybe you add sweet potatoes. Maybe you add or subtract potatoes. Maybe you add a little asparagus, some cabbage. Maybe vary up the greens that you eat. Maybe you do eggplant. You get tired of the fruit that you eat all the time. Try a new fruit. Try mango. Try something that you don't normally eat. Try kiwi. Try something. If you're kind of like an apples and oranges and bananas kind of person, try grapefruit. Try kiwi. Try mango. Just try strawberries. The berries are very crucial. Berries are very important anyway. If you couldn't eat any of the other fruit, berries, 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 berries. Eat your blueberries, your raspberries, your blackberries. They're very crucial. And it looks like I see another frog. Is that? Nope, that's not one. That's a leaf. So it's crucial. It's crucial. Eat the things that you like, of course. And even if you don't like them, remember what we said the other day. You can train your taste buds. You can train your taste buds to eat things that you don't like, especially if those things are good for you or they're known to be good for you. So sometimes it just takes us training our taste buds, and eating some things that we may not be accustomed to eating. It'll also increase your nutritional intake because you'll get certain vitamins and minerals that you don't normally get because you're kind of stuck in a rut. You're kind of eating the same old thing over and over. So vary things up. Vary things up. Change things around. You may be fatigued with the way your living room is set up. Change it around. Move some things around. You may be fatigued with the way your bedroom is set up. So fatigue doesn't always just mean physical. 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 It could be environmental. It can be mental. It can be in the things that you do. It can be in the things that you do to entertain yourself. Maybe now some people. The one thing that I have realized is that people who love to read, I never hear anybody who loves to read. I never ever hear them say they get tired of reading, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing. I never ever hear anybody say that they get tired of reading. Of those who love to read, I never hear that. I just thought about that. Reading is a good thing. Reading keeps your mind. Reading is your mind's exercise. Reading is one of the most important ways to exercise your mind. It exercises your mind. It educates you. It informs you. And for those who are avid readers, they never get tired of reading. They never complain, ever. Even when they go on vacation, you may find them reading, and that's good. That is definitely good. That is definitely good. Read. We need to read. We need to read. We need to do those puzzles that we talked about before. Crossword puzzles, numbers, words, all kinds of puzzles. Y'all, that frog is still in the same spot. I walked up there and walked back just to see. I don't know. Something may be going on with him. I, do frogs stay in the same place that long? I've never seen a frog stay in the same place that long. I guess they have to sleep. I guess they have to sleep. But that's not really a quiet place. It's not the noisiest, but it's not really quiet. Not really quiet. I've been on 55 minutes. Why does the time start to fly? When you guys come in and you start talking to me, time starts to fly. And then when everybody has things to do, because people have to multitask, people have to get up and move around. They have to get their day. They have to get themselves ready for tomorrow. Some people meal prep. Some people, whatever you're doing, when you guys start to move around, it seems like YouTube kind of pushes it to somewhere else. Maybe they push it over into China. We just move around. And people come in. And wherever you're from, come in and say hello. Be nice. Be polite. Be courteous. Say hello and drop some nuggets in the chat. Something positive. Something motivational. Something uplifting. If you're stressed out, tell us you're stressed out. You don't have to give us details, but release that stress. Talk about it. Sometimes releasing stress just comes with you ranting and talking about it. Don't let it bother you. It's gonna bother you. It's gonna bother you. We gotta be realistic. we we all get stressed. Some of us are stressed daily, and stress can be good for you because once stress hits a certain degree, it lets you know that you need to de-stress, and it lets you know that okay, it's too much. Imagine people who can't, you know. I always go back to children. Imagine children. Sometimes they aren't outspoken just yet enough to tell us that they're overly stressed. When we're pushing them and pushing them and pushing them to do good in sports or whatever your child is excelling in or just school in general, and then especially if they're good in school, whether they're good or not, but they're in school and you're pushing, and they're in sports as well. Oh my goodness, it takes a lot. That takes a strong mind. That's a young mind and a strong mind. And sometimes you just never know. Children are stronger than adults. Children are stronger than adults because children have no choice. Like children have no choice. When they're stressed out, yeah, it may show. They may wet the bed. They may act out in school or they may be withdrawn. But if they're stressed out and it's something going on in the home, the reason that they're stressed, or if it's not the home, but if it's school, if it's something that's going on at home, it'll show up in school. If it's something that's going on in school, it'll show up at home or wherever they go. But and you can talk to them and ask them and, have open dialogue with them. And some are open, but sometimes not. And whether it's that they're afraid or sometimes it's just their personality. Because sometimes you hear adults that'll say, I never talk that much. When people ask me, I was just, it just, if it was something going on, they just got through it. They just got through it. So to me, personally, in my opinion, children are a lot stronger than adults mentally. And their little minds haven't even begun to be able to process a lot of the things that go on. But when they go through things, those are their lessons. Whether they're at an age where they should be having those lessons or not. When kids go through things, those are their lessons. Those are their lessons. And it plays a big part in, who they become. Like I said, if some are kind of reserved, they're probably going to be that way maybe anyway. It might be a little bit of their personality. Because you have kids who have it great. And they're quiet, they're reserved. They didn't go through anything like extra stress. I'll say they didn't go through stuff that just, had them torn down and beaten down at home or at school. They didn't. They're just kind of reserved. So imagine those who do go through so much and have so much stress on their shoulders. And then they're already kind of quiet. Probably going to be kind of quiet anyway. So I just feel like kids are so much stronger mentally than we think. Should they be exposed to some things? Should they have to go through things? No. But if we as parents or some other adult or authority figure don't figure it out or see that something's not quite right, pretty much they just have to deal with it. They just have to deal with it. Especially if the parent or the authority figure is part of the problem. So they just have to deal with it a lot of times. A lot of times people take their stress out on their kids. So their kids are dealing with your stress. With their stress, rather. So that's why I say kids are so much stronger than us in so many ways. They are. They're so much stronger than us in so many ways. It's been 1 hour, guys, and I'm about to get out of here. Because it's been an hour, y'all. We walked and talked. We talked about y'all getting y'all's checkups. Hey, Roselle. Last Project coming through to show support. I appreciate you. Thank you for coming through. We've been on here for like an hour, Roselle. I'm trying to be nosy, mispronouncing your name. I'm sorry. We've been on here for an hour talking about everything from nature to healthcare, making sure you get your appointments, even if it's just one a year. We know sometimes we don't trust the healthcare professionals And sometimes it's not that we don't trust them, we just don't like to go. And sometimes it's just sometimes people can't afford to go. If it's pay a bill or go to the doctor, well, if the person feels okay, they're gonna pay the bill most of the times. But we always encourage people to go and at least get one checkup a year and get any kind of preventative services. A lot of times preventative services are free. So that's what we've been talking about, just healthcare, um, eating, things that have made you fatigued. Like it doesn't have to be a physical tiredness, but just some things that you've been doing. If you want to change jobs, are you fatigued? Are you, bored with your job? Are you worn out with that job? So we were just talking about some things that have us fatigued. I appreciate you. You always have good conversations. Thank you, Rosie. I appreciate that. I try to be, a little different from a lot of what I see. Sometimes that can be boring, but what we're trying to do is just inform people, educate. You can only educate so much because YouTube doesn't allow you, and which with good reason, because a lot of people come on here and they just say anything. They'll have people thinking anything. Sometimes people believe a lot of things that they shouldn't believe. So I understand the YouTube guidelines. So I always say that anything you hear over here is not meant to be professional advice. It's just us chatting with each other, dropping nuggets, figuring out what works for us, and if it may be possible that it can work for somebody else or someone that they know. And we also learn things from each other in the chat. And when I talk, believe me, it's to uplift myself as well. It's to uplift the people. It's to encourage the people. But it's for me too. Most of the times, that's how people encourage themselves, by encouraging others. So that's what we over here doing. That's how we like it. It feels like a family environment, family oriented, trying to educate, trying to uplift, trying to encourage, and just trying to enjoy each other. Trying to enjoy each other. It feels so good out here wherever you guys are. I hope if the weather is nice that you're taking advantage of it, that you're getting up and you're moving. That is the most important thing. That's why I label these Let's Walk and Talks. Let's walk and talk. Let's walk and talk. If you can walk and talk briskly, a good brisk walk, you're doing really good. If you can't, that's okay. You're still doing good because you're moving. You're moving. So get up, move those joints. Move. That's the whole purpose of the Let's Walk and Talk. The Let's Walk and Talk lives that I do. Other than that, y'all, I'm a shorts channel, so check out the shorts. I've been doing food mostly, but I'm about to get back to my wildlife because I love wildlife, y'all. I do. Y'all see I've been out here harassing this frog. But when I say wildlife, I mean like real wildlife. I do. But yeah, I was harassing that frog and he is still there. I wasn't harassing him in a bad way. I was just trying to see if I could get him to move. He jumped right in front of me across the street. And then as soon as I started to pay attention to him, he just froze. He just froze. So y'all remember, don't let bothered people bother you. Don't. Don't let stressed people stress you. Don't let stressed people stress you out. Don't let any place you go to, whether it's the web, the apps, Walmart, Target, school, church, work, home. Don't let that stress you out. If there's more stress inside, then don't go in there. And if you find yourself amongst all that stress, come out. Never leave out of any place with more stress than you went in with. As if you can help it. If you can help it. Hey, you got to go home, and sometimes that's where your stress is. But find ways to relieve that stress. Find ways to relieve that stress. So y'all know what it is. Peace, positivity, and prosperity. I wish you guys all three. Without peace, there's chaos. Without positivity, there's negativity. Chaos and negativity love to find their ways into your life. And when they do, you fail to prosper to your fullest potential if you allow them to excel. So we don't want chaos and negativity to excel. We want to excel. We want to prosper. And I will see you guys on the next Let's Walk and Talk Live. Bye, y'all.